Absolutely do. All right, let's bring up Glynn Spangenberg, Chief Commercial Officer over at Locomation. Last time we saw him, we were both in Arkansas. Glenn, thanks for coming back on the show.
Absolutely. It's great to see you guys again.
Yeah, it was good seeing you on the floor out there. I think we have a couple pictures from it as well. Show these up real nice. Ooh, yeah. Good time out there. I love the shirt you had on, too. You had to make sure to get the back in there so you could point at the name and all that. How did you enjoy the event over in Rogers, Arkansas?
It was awesome. I was really, I went there on a scouting mission with Tom Crosswick, our head of strategy and business development, to see what was going on at the future of supply chain from the FreightWaves perspective. And we found just a super audience, receptive to new technologies, and just really a great time to openly get out and see folks all together. And it was good to see how really much taller you guys look in person than you do here on the radio. And to the dude, thank you for, dropping it down to my level just a tad so that it looked like we were symmetrically laid out there somehow.
Yeah, it looked like the spread between diesel and contract prices you were just talking about.
Did a little bit.
When we were out there, it was interesting. The space is heating up. The autonomous space is heating up. And it wasn't just at ours. Act Expo was happening at the same time. I saw a lot of pictures from there. A lot of companies entering this space. So how is Locomation different from all these other companies in the AV trucking sector, though?
I'll tell you, our company was founded by 5 guys from Carnegie Mellon's National Robotics Engineering Center. And from the start, they were dissidents from the overall pack because they looked at these other AV companies being founded in that era, and they fundamentally disagreed with those business models, which were predicated on bringing level 4 and level 5 autonomy, solo driverless autonomy, to the market as the initial step. Because our founders knew that solo driverless trucks just wouldn't be able to handle all the driving and safety situations for many years, if not decades. And so the fact is that even today, there's still so much more work yet to do to get to a fully commercially viable driver out solo autonomous truck. And, irrespective of all the big promises and endless postponed timelines that are so common with the other companies in the sector, we're coming out with a human guided approach that's focused on a human in the loop rather than replacing the human, give them the technology that augments their capabilities. And this solution, we believe, is the right, practical, safe step for bringing a realistic deployment to market for autonomous trucks.
It makes perfect sense, Glenn. Now, you guys at Locomation, obviously, you talk about providing a turnkey autonomous service for the trucking industry, right? Can you define that for us? What does that exactly mean?
Yeah, so we recognize that trucking was really far larger than a market filled with like taxis and all. Long-haul trucking would be the best initial fit for autonomy. So we designed the solution to address the industry's biggest pain points: inefficiency, lack of capacity, high costs, low margins, poor quality of life, high carbon emissions, and all of that. But to make that work, you really need a turnkey solution, meaning that it needs to be built end-to-end for a customer to easily implement it into their current business processes really from the beginning. So we set up a 2-part model designed to work in today's world that could leverage the benefits of autonomous convoying. First, Locomation overhauls the customer's traditional work operation to institute a relay model, splitting the long haul from the local haul. And then we provide a proprietary freight scheduling service to enable customers to implement optimized runs on a daily basis with autonomy. And when it's implemented, this digital transportation system means that long-haul trucks on the relay network can run up to 22 hours per day. And then we introduce our autonomous relay convoy, or ARC technology, that goes on the truck that enables the trucks to now run in pairs led by a single driver. So the trucks are electronically tethered and equipped with Locomation's autonomous driving systems. And the lead driver controls the convoy while a second driver in the second truck follows autonomously and rests off the clock. So at the destination hub, they pick up new loads, with the rested driver now leading the convoy as they head back home, while the follower driver now sleeps.
Well, so Glenn, you make a bold claim here. You say you'll be the first to deploy in commercial operations across the country, going beyond just these testing loops a lot of companies are doing. So what makes you so confident you'll be the first?
Yeah, Locomation will be first because our solution is not only technologically practical in the near term, but because it's safe under any condition. Our human-in-the-loop approach means that Locomations-equipped trucks can navigate complex and challenging scenarios such as, adverse weather and construction zones and crash scenes and inspections and interaction with law enforcement and emergency vehicle encounters. And so, unlike our competitors, Locomation requires no new federal regulations because our convoys are controlled by trained humans in the loop. And frankly, we're getting a great response from the market because the solution is actually really good for drivers. It matters to our customer and to our industry. A driver's time will be used for maximum efficiency, which means better compensation, fewer wasted detention time hours, and frequent returns back to their home base. The ability to routinely clock off and spend time with family and community it'll be a major boost to the driver's quality of life.
Yeah, so Glynn, let's put you to the test again. And how do you back up the claims about the results your business model is going to provide people?
That's a great question because these are truly bold claims, and typically you need to be able to validate it to advertise these things. And so that's what we undertook to do. As for the environmental impact, these eye-popping numbers, again, 21% lower fuel consumption and 22% reduced greenhouse gas emissions, were validated by an independent third-party company. That's an analysis by Boundless Impact and Research Analytics. And this firm, Boundless, they're a leading firm for credible assessments of corporate environmental claims. They utilize a life cycle self-assessment method that literally assessed the scope 1, 2, and 3 greenhouse gas emissions of Locomations ARC technology. Life cycle assessments alone are recognized as far more rigorous than really any other reporting method. And so Boundless researched and modeled the material and the energy and the performance characteristics for Locomations ARC system based on detailed information provided by Locomation that described the material components, the energy consumption impacts, the labor, and the cost implications. And at the core of the methodology is this life cycle assessment model for the transportation of goods by a long-haul Class 8 truck carrying 1 ton of goods for 1 kilometer on a highway. And the scores and the metrics derived, they're trustworthy, they're reliable, because they're unbiased and they're validated by external industry and scientific experts. And, while some others claim, easier access and things to do, if you take trucks that are running less than 7 hours per day, and you want to model this as they do on average 7 hours per day in utilization to more than 20 hours per day with matched loads going back and forth without wait time, you've clearly boosted freight volume substantially. And if you add 2 trucks then, rather than 1 truck running with a single driver on duty, it's clear that you're going to have double the capacity and boosted efficiency. And altogether, that's going to mean higher profits.
Well, Glenn, in our opening segment, our opening news story, we poorly talked about aligning ESG goals with actual supply chain goals. And that's kind of exactly what you're talking about right here. Go check out Locomation. Okay. You have a great weekend, and thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you, Dinner. Thank you to the dudes. Great meeting you guys in person the other day, and look forward to the next time.
Of course. We'll see you out there.
Thanks,
Take
Glenn.
care.